Ames was walking the dark streets, unable to keep quiet and hide because he was crying. Two street thugs blocked the boy's way. The men were drunk and roaming the street scavenging. When they saw the boy, the only thing on their mind was to hurt him. Ames saw two vagrants approaching him, wiping his tears, trying to stabilize his vision. One of the men before him was slender and short, holding a dagger in his hand, turning it menacingly. The other man was tall, with a beard up to his chest, with scars on his face from a life spent in filth. They both approached him, grinning mercilessly. Ames' body was so tired, the mystical event that had happened to him and the sudden intensity of emotions he had exhausted him, and he had no energy to escape anymore. Although he tried to think of the spider named Wed again, this time he could not combine the imagery in his mind, could not concentrate. Alessia got bored and took a break from her studies and decided to go to Marlette and help Walter and Antoine. Excited to be unwittingly involved in a mission to which she did not belong, she sped through the darkness to the vicinity of the inn. Meanwhile, while she was looking around on the roof of a house, she saw three silhouettes. One of the silhouettes was of a boy, the others were the shadows of two men approaching him. Alessia rushed towards them, but her steps were so quiet and sneaky that it was impossible to notice. As she got closer, the vampire girl realized something. One of the three people was a magic user, because she sensed a strong magic energy from the environment. She drew her sword and decided to watch what was going on first. She saw the men shouting and insulting the boy. The strong one was holding the little boy's arms. The skinny one was holding the dagger close to the boy's body. Alessia appeared and spoke behind the men, not wanting to spill blood in front of the boy. "Leave the kid and get the hell out of here, punks. I don't want to hurt you, but don't force me." The men answered with laughter and left the boy for the moment. In front of them was a young and truly beautiful woman, whose drunken minds were full of ugliness, and the perverse expectations of these people for the child were this time focused on a more suitable victim. They wanted to possess the woman, alive or dead, and they pounced on her. Alessia confidently kept her sword at the ready. These drunken punks were child's play to her. Alessia perceived the larger bearded assailant as the main threat and targeted the area below the man's knee. She bent down and made a slash, extending her sword parallel to the ground. The drunken tramp staggered to the ground. He threw the knife in his skinny hand helplessly at Alessia. Alessia heard the dagger racing towards her in the air, and although she did not see it, she felt the angle of arrival with a different perception. She slapped the unseen dagger with her sword in midair, and the dagger fell harmlessly to the ground. The skinny bum sprinted away. Alessia had nothing to do with him and would have easily hunted him down if she wanted to. This woman was wonderfully beautiful, and Ames convinced himself that this person was a friend. The young woman caressed the boy's face and gave him a warm smile. Ames clung to the vampire's body, seeking the warmth of a friend there, but the body was cold as dead. The woman brushed the stray blood off her sword to the ground and sheathed it. He looked at the boy again and asked, "Who are you, sweet boy, who is after you?" "Don't worry, you're safe with me, and you'll be fine." Ames collected himself and replied, "My name is Ames, and I'm followed by terrifying creatures, chasing after me with fangs and claws. Protect me, thanks for your help." Alessia realized that Walter and Antoine had missed this child, and she smiled slyly, took the boy's hand. "Let's go home, little Ames. Let me make you a hot soup and tell me about your adventures. As long as you're with me, you won't be harmed." The man writhing on the ground cried out in pain. "I'm going to die. It hurts so much. What have you done to me, you bastard, you whore?" Alessia looked at him coldly. "You won't die, bum, don't be afraid, this is your lucky night. But I guess you won't be able to walk for 4 or 5 months. Get yourself a cane, freak." Ames was fascinated by the woman's answer. His crying eyes filled with joy, and the boy giggled uncontrollably.